AITA because I didn't follow up with her during no contact about her cancer diagnosis results? My ex, Sarah, initiated no contact, so I left the ball in her court. Basically we dated for about 5 months monogamously even though she knew I was curious about poly and knew that I'll eventually wanted to try it when the time was right for me. We talked about how difficult things might get towards the end but we liked each other so much even though we knew it was going to end because she is 100% monogamous, but still wanted to be with me during that time. Throughout our relationship, Sarah was also waiting to find out if she had cancer, and had to do a bunch of tests. The day of the most important tests, I went with her to the hospital. Then the next night, one of my really good poly friends invited me to the home of a girl, Rita, who happens to be poly who I'd never met before. Sarah wasn't invited, and she stayed in as she was healing from all the tests. I called Sarah en route to Rita's place, and on the way back, I excitedly told Sarah all about it, how we danced, and played board games, etc. Rita and added each other on socials right away. But some feelings came up for me, and I felt sad and scared of all intimate it was with me going to the hospital with Sarah and then the fact that things were gonna eventually end, so I ended things 3 days later. I began hanging out with Rita, first with our mutual friends, and even one-on-one. I told Sarah about it, assuming she wouldn't care as she went on dates and told me about them. I don't get jealous, neither does Rita, but Sarah does, right after we ended things. Sarah then initiated no contact. I told her it made me sad but I understood and that we could regroup after a few weeks or so. She agreed. Neither of us reached out but I liked some of her stuff on socials. I wanted to respect her wishes to be no contact. I knew during that time she'd be getting her results, and I wanted to let her share them with me when she got them, if she wanted to. I didn't want to impose. Plus I was distracting myself by going out with friends, and finally starting poly, and Rita and I began hanging out more and more once Sarah and I went NC, and now we're dating. Sarah called me out of the blue from a new number after about 3 or 4 weeks, and we briefly caught up, and she asked me why I hadn't asked her about her results. I told her I didn't want to broach the topic if she didn't want to talk about it, especially over the phone. She asked me if I'd forgotten. Sarah is now upset that during no contact that she initiated, that I should have made an exception and reached out to see if she was okay and if she had cancer or not, because for all I know she could have been in the hospital going through chemo. Or is she overreacting and finding new things to get mad at me over?